Hello guys and welcome back to a brand new YouTube video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over how I analyze my charts and how you should be analyzing your charts to make them look as professional as possible. Without further ado, let's jump into this. Okay guys, so starting off on the daily time frame, what I'm trying to do here on the daily time frame is trying to get an overall sense of the direction of the market. Is it up, down, is it trending, moving sideways, is there any buying or selling positions, am I looking to even potentially stay out of the market? All these kind of factors that could potentially happen inside the market, I'm really trying to do on the daily time frame, because whatever's happening long term will tell you what you want to be doing short term to get to that kind of long term goal. Okay, so on the daily time frame, with identifying the overall trend, the way I like to do that is by utilizing trend lines. So of course, trend lines are very, very important when it comes to analysis. For me, to make a valid trend line, it has to have 3 or more touches. Okay, so the market has to reject the trend line 3 or more times. With this being said, let's try and identify some trend lines. Okay, so the first trend line that springs to sight is like so. You can see, if I just mark up really quickly, we have our first, we have our second, third, fourth, and fifth touch. So like I said, 3 or more makes it a valid trend line for me, and 5 is more than valid in my eyes. So that's the first trend line that I've just identified. Of course, you can see it's very, very valid. Has been tested and respected very, very well. So that's of course a very, very good thing. Next up, we have another trend line that has just sprung to sight. This one here, you can see yet again, we have our first, we have our second, we have our third, and we have our fourth touch. Okay, so another 4 touches. I think by technical terms, whenever it comes to technical analysis, it's actually 2 or more touches that makes it a valid trend line. But for me personally, 2 isn't enough. I mean, let's face it, if you just draw it from point A to point B, it could just be a random chance of it just rejecting off of that specific area. So 3 or more times is very valid in my eyes, and I will constantly stick to that for as long as I trade. So going forward, of course, being on the daily time frame, we can almost see already we have got a very nice sense of direction of the overall market movement is very much to the top side. So looking at it just by eye, you can almost kind of tell that we're going to be potentially looking for some buy-in positions, with that being said. So going forward, I will be dropping it down to the short time frame, 4 hour to be precise, to have a look, see if there's any more detailed trend lines. Okay guys, as mentioned, now on the 4 hour time frame, I am going to be looking for more detailed trend lines. So dropping it down a time frame, this kind of gives you a better insight of what's going on a little bit shorter term, what's going on inside those big daily candles, and a kind of good insight of what's going on around the market. So continuing on from drawing our trend lines, this one here very much stands out, as I'm sure it probably does to you as well. We have, of course, our first, our second, our third, and fourth touch up there at the top. So making it a very, very valid trend line for myself. With that being said, you can already see things are now starting to take shape. Lots and lots of key rejections pushing that market higher and higher, which is always good to see coming from the pound. So dropping it down now to a shorter time frame like the hour. So for the hour, guys, whenever I'm on the hour time frame, this is primarily for identifying support and resistance, or as I like to say, zones. Okay, zones are very, very important. Zones to me is where you have both levels of support and resistance testing on it. So if I give you an example of what I mean by that, we have a zone going straight across our screen right here. This is actually what I like to call a golden zone. Okay, what we have is we have a touch there and we have a touch here. That's what first of all makes it a zone. We also have a ton more touches going forward all the way across the board. So you can see instantly how market structure is very much taking its place. And this zone right here, I'm actually now going to change the color of to, we'll say, orange, which is classified as a golden zone. Okay, golden zones to me is where it has 5 or more touches, so they're very, very crucial. Okay, golden zones are kind of the Easter egg in your analysis. They're the ones that you really want to be looking for, because they're the ones that you can trade around and get in on those entries and hopefully make a crap ton of money going forward. So Moving on, trying to identify some more zones. I see one right now up whereabouts price is actually currently at right now. I'm going to change that color back to grey like normal. And you can see price is currently testing both levels of support and resistance up here. So as price was coming up, it came back down, meaning that this acted as a level of resistance, or is that the way I like to imagine it? You have a ground level, which is your floor. Imagine you drop a bouncy ball at it and it will bounce back up because, you know, it can't go through. And then you have your resistance, which is at the top, which is I like to imagine as the ceiling. Okay, so you chuck a bouncy ball at the ceiling and it will come back down. It will reject off of it. With that being said, acting as a level of support and resistance, we have our level of resistance here and we have our level of support right here. So making it a very, very valid, clear zone for us. We can now almost drop it down to a different time frame, the 15-minute time frame to be precise. And now dropping it down to the 15-minute time frame, you can see things are very much in kind of clean and tidy structure. You can see very clearly how GBP JPY is respecting these zones very, very well. You can also see in more detail around the levels of resistance and the levels of support, how the market has been rejecting these specific zones. Being a breakout trader myself, you're able to play so many different potential entries off of these key areas. So, you know, you could play breakout and retest down here like so, or you could potentially play the rejection and ride the market to the upside. So many different things that you can do, okay? There's so many different things, so many different ways that it can end up playing out, and lots of different potential entry points. So, with that being said, we are now going to put a potential short position on because I think my bias is going to be towards the downside. If we look at the overall market movement, you can almost tell that the market is somewhat starting to run out of steam, okay? And what I mean by that is you have a trending market. It's now sideways. You have more of a trending market, very moving sideways. And a lot of the time, that's indicating a potential rollover because the market has run out of steam up at the top end, okay? So if you imagine the bulls constantly battling towards the upside, eventually that pressure is going to run out and you're going to have somewhat of a rollover, as I like to call it, where the market starts to reverse and folds back over into the opposite direction, which in this case is towards the downside. So with that being said, I would like to set up a sell position to potentially ride that market down to, you know, where it might have previously rejected previously. So whereabouts I would set my stop loss. First of all, I would set my stop loss up at the next level of structure. Of course, this will be a sell stop, so I won't yet be inside this market until the market taps me in, which is at 152.563, as you can see on the right hand side. So there's a little while until that ends up happening. But going forward, you always want to have your stop loss set at the next level of structure, which in this case it's this resistance, this daily trend line that we have marked up, and of course have your take profit set down at the next previous level of structure, or you might hear them by swing low or swing high. I just like to, you know, previous level of structure or the next level of structure. Keeps it a lot more clean and a lot more simple for the students. So I have my stop loss set at 153.302 and my take profit set at 151.461. This trade looks very, very nice. Of course, 110 pip take profit, 73 pip stop loss with a 1 to 5 R to R ratio. So it's a decent R to R. It's nothing too crazy. You'll see some swing traders, they have 4 R to Rs, sometimes even higher, 6.5 R to Rs. Of course, hoping to hold them trades for a very, very long period of time. Whereas myself, being a day trader, a scalper, I'm not really too much of a swing trader personally, but as a day trader or a scalper, you know, a 1 to 5 R to R of 110 pip take profit is very, very nice for me, and I would take that all day long. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed the analysis. Of course, like I said, top-down analysis from top to bottom. This way you're getting all angles covered and you're not leaving anything on the table. You're not missing anything out where you could potentially lose money or, you know, potentially miss a trade, whatever it might be. So, like I said, if you did enjoy the video, like and subscribe. I saw a stat the other day that 70% that watches the videos are not subscribed, so please hit that rectangular red button. It says subscribe on it. Hit the bell notification. This way you get alerted whenever I upload a video. I've got lots of cool things in the pipeline, so you don't really want to miss anything as of at the moment. And apart from that, guys, if you are interested in joining the mentorship, I will leave a link to my Instagram in the description. We currently have a 50% off deal for monthly subscription on the mentorship. This is where you get myself to personally mentor you. I will teach you how to trade. I'll teach you how I trade, how to find potential setup, risk management. I will teach you my strategy, gold trading strategy, my scalping strategy, day trading strategy. You get webinars, you get one-to-ones, you get absolutely the whole shebang. You also get my 3 ebooks, actually 4 ebooks now. I recently brought out the new ebook, The Ultimate Trading Bible, which if you are interested in, again, the link to my Instagram is in the bio. There is currently a sale on that from 125 down to 75. It has my gold trading strategy, my scalping trading strategy. I've got all my notes in there about how I overcame fear inside the Forex markets and how you can overcome fear inside the Forex markets to make your trading seem effortless, okay? It is an absolute bargain. Like I said, drop me a DM, and like I said, if you do enjoy the video, drop a like, drop a comment in the section below if you have any questions or anything you want to see next. And until then, you guys have a great day, week, and month, and I will see you guys in the next video.